Galactic Jedis, welcome, welcome. I am so glad to be with you all today. This is amazing that you guys are here on a Saturday evening for a 2-hour live, guys. I'm going to go deep today. We're going to talk about the Enlightened ones and their significance in the history of our world. But before I get to that, the topic of today, I am excited to be here with you guys once again on another live. And for those that don't know me, I am the author of Our Cosmic Origin, a book that pretty much restores galactic history back to the Earth. And I'm also a galactic historian, obviously. I also wanted to acknowledge all of you that are here on the live. Thank you so much for being here. And again, I honor and I respect each and every single one of you. Despite of your belief systems, even if we share different opinions about certain subjects, it's still okay because we could agree to disagree and still be one human family here on planet Earth. After all, we are heading towards a type of society where each and every single human on Earth honors the Christ and the God within each and every other human on the Earth, and the animals, of course. And I do want to point out today is the 17th, and on this day today, in the year 1801, today in history, February the 17th, 2024. In the year 1801, I believe, yes, it was 1801, Thomas Jefferson was elected the third U.S. president. So on this day, February the 17th, in the year 1801, Thomas Jefferson became the third president of the United States government. And that is a good thing because Jefferson was a white hat. Again, George Washington was a white hat, and so was Jefferson. And guess who wasn't a white hat? Madison. Madison was not a white hat because he believed in centralized government. He believed in taking the power away from the states and bringing centralized control and, of course, a central banking system. So from the beginning, we could see the infiltration. In either case, a little bit more about myself is that I love my alone time. Every chance I get, I like to be by myself. I like to take a drive to the mountains. I like to be in nature. I like the ocean. And I could spend a few hours in nature up in the mountains all by myself. That brings my energy up. That makes me happy. If you guys are also lovers of your alone time and you love connecting with nature, please drop it in the comments. I would love to know your own experience. Now, I also want to remind you all that some new interviews are going to be published on my channel with amazing, people who have so much knowledge and wisdom. Like I said, we're learning from all of us. We're all kind of stimulating and activating each other as a planetary group of light warriors. So I learn as much from you guys and others as much as they and you learn from me. We're all in this together, and we're all here to elevate each other. And pretty much, if you agree, give me a thumbs up. Now, also, I want to acknowledge and respect everybody's different opinions of things. I want to make sure that this is a platform that does not promote hate or division, that this platform remains spiritual and all-inclusive. Again, we're all children of the one God, whether you believe in the flat earth or in the round earth, or whether you don't believe in anything at all. We're all children of the one infinite creator. So let's keep this platform very inclusive to everybody that wants to, again, expand in consciousness. And at the same time, there's another thing that I wanted to share with you guys before I get into today's subject of the Enlightened ones and who they are and their impact on humanity. Of course, some of you guys have been already working with some of these ascended beings, but there are actually a numerous numbers of ascended beings that were left out of the records, that were not recorded in history, that I will be shedding light upon as well today. Now, I also want you guys to know that I am a forever student on the path of enlightenment and illumination, just like each and every single one of you. And I do believe that that's the reason why you guys were attracted to me from the beginning and to my channel. So I also want to let you know that what I present, it's up to you to take what resonates and to discard what doesn't resonate. You're still your own individual, and you're entitled to your own belief systems and your own individuality. So I just wanted to let you guys know that it's okay if you guys, don't agree with everything that I present. That is fine with me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. In fact, I want you guys to use your own critical thinking, not only when it comes to what I teach or what I present, but also when it comes to what you listen with others. All right. There is a lot of people out there that are unfortunately giving out misinformation. So I want you guys to use that discernment, that superpower, which is discernment. Okay. So make sure that you guys understand that it's okay to take what resonates and what doesn't resonate, including with what I teach. Okay. So with that have said, for those that haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, make sure you do, because I noticed that a lot of the times, a lot of you have left it in the comments that automatically you get unsubscribed, and it happens over and over. So make sure you guys always check to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And also don't forget to turn on your notification button so that way you guys are made and informed as to when I'm going live. Now, if there are any new people in the house that are here for the first time, I want to welcome you with open hearts. I want to welcome all the new people. Welcome to the tribe of the, family of light here on the earth. I guess the Galactic Jedis. There are so many terminologies in which we could describe our network here as light warriors and light warrioresses in our ascension, as we are the anchor points, of course, of this higher influx of energy that is totally shifting consciousness and humanity as we know it, and anything and everything else, not just humans. A lot of you always ask me, are the animals ascending? And the answer to that will always be yes. The animals, the elements, the entire solar system is ascending. So with that in mind, I also want to let you guys know that regarding today's topic, as I talk about the different teachings and the different characteristics of these, of those that have come before us, that have laid out the path of integrating spirit and matter, of activating immortality, of reaching the level of a bodhisattva, which is an already enlightened one, right? An ascended beings. I wanted to share that we do live in a holistic, integrative universe, and everything is connected. So with that understanding, you come to the realization that even the celestials and the ascended beings, the ladies of light, the masters of light, and the different angelic and archangelic entities that exist throughout the vastness of dimensions are also us on different levels of reality. So what we're doing here is, as we learn about these beings and their teachings, it's not so much about putting them on a pedestal or seeing them as a teacher outside of ourselves, but also as an extension of us. Let's begin to cultivate the mentality of integrating these teachings as these beings begin to work with us and begin to recognize that they are also you, and that that you are them. So there is no separation in our holistic reality. Everything is one whole, operating on different fractals and operating on different levels of reality. So understand that these beings are also part of your collective archetypes. They're also part of your collective unconscious as archetypes. And so it's very important to not see them as extensions, as separated from you or putting them on a pedestal, but seeing them as part of you, okay? As we undergo multidimensional integration, which is the true meaning of ascension, we're going to realize that we are the reincarnated and the return masters and ladies of light of the different realms, from the celestial levels of the angelics all the way to the archangelics. And like I mentioned before, even a few of the Elohim, those that come from the 13th level of reality, 13th dimension, are also here in human form. So it's just a matter of recognizing who we are and integrating those aspects of ourselves and anchoring them in the here and the now, so that we could fire up the Christ grid and activate what many call in our community the second coming of the Christ and the host of heaven, which are each and every single one of you and everybody else that watches this on the replay. So the first article I want to read is about who these ascended masters are, okay? I do recognize that not everybody is aware and has knowledge of these ascended beings. So I'm going to give a thorough explanation of these ascended beings, okay? So this is a list of the ascended masters, the cosmic masters, the Diva kingdom, the Elohim, and the archangels in alphabet order. Those who have the term God or goddess with their name as cosmic masters and have attained God consciousness, okay, which is something that's available to each and every single one of you. The attainment of God consciousness, which some people would connect that with Christ consciousness or Buddha consciousness, different terminologies to describe universal awareness, understanding that everything in our universe is one integrated, holistic entity experiencing itself through the different levels of reality, right? Through the mineral kingdom, through the plant kingdom, through the human kingdom, and then, of course, the different levels of the celestial kingdom, all the way to the archangels and the creator, gods and daughters of the living light, who are in charge of their own creations, as there are many multiverses or universes. So let me continue. This is a list by no means complete, as there is only some of those who are choosing to work closest with the earth at this time, and so in our awareness. There are also a vast number of masters working on the paths. The in front of a name denotes those who are standing with humanity as their ascension teachers, as described in the articles, the Ascension Master teachings. Okay, so before we get to the Ascension Master teachings, actually, no, let's go over those first before we go over who the Ascended Masters are. 1 second. Okay, so what is an ascended master? Let's start with the fundamentals. Again, I'm going to start with the fundamentals, and then I'm going to go a little deeper, right? Because again, everyone is on different levels of awakening and understanding, and I just don't want to throw all this heavy, dense information when we have people here who need to understand the basics. So let's first define what is an ascended master, okay? And how do they help? Well, learning what is an ascended master can give us a better understanding of the spiritual hierarchy that makes our world evolve and the tremendous help that they can provide to ease our path. So what is an ascended master is a recurring question that people often ask when they participate in our session. So here we will share some knowledge about who they really are and how they can help humanity. With my wife, Maria, and within our, okay, I guess I don't have to read that part, but what does ascension mean? Let's start with the meaning and the terminology of ascension. When I said with my wife, Maria, I was actually quoting Jesus Joshua Sananda, also known as the Ascended Master Sananda. For those that are unaware, Jesus and Maria, Mary Magdalene, Maria is the Spanish name of Mary Magdalene, were actually wedded, all right? If you want to learn more about their secret lineage, also known as the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, resort to my video that I put out about 2 months ago regarding the Holy Grail in the order of Melchizedek. All right, so with that in mind, let me continue here. So the term ascended master is a human being that has ascended from life on earth to a higher spiritual plane, having mastered the rules of the physical plane and transmuted a significant part of their negative karma. So what does that mean to us? That means that these are the people that have done the inner work, that have integrated to their subtle energy bodies, their astral body, their emotional body, their higher causal mental body with their physical form through spiritual means and the alchemization process. All right, this is the true meaning of alchemy, by the way. They are perfect examples of what inner transformation throughout the inner work, which is an alchemical process. They're perfect examples of that, okay? So, but to understand what is an ascended master, we must first learn about the ascension process. Well, all have heard about the ascension of Jesus or some other initiates throughout history. If we put any religious beliefs aside, it is interesting to understand the science behind the ascension process as well. All can follow, for it is in our destiny to ascend. And let me just give you guys a quote that even the Master Joshua Sananda, Emmanuel, Ben Joseph, whatever you want to call him, Jesus the Christ, even stated in the Bible that ye that each and every single one of you is a god and goddess. He stated that ye are gods, that ye are all children of the one, that I am not the only Christ, you are also the Christ. And he also stated in the Bible that he was referring to the end of the cycle, right? Which is now. He goes, in time, you will also do the things that I do and better and greater. And he was referring to the manifestation of supernatural abilities beyond just the healing of the sick, right? The transmutation through alchemy of water into wine, which he performed very well in his own wedding of Cana. Again, that, was modified in the Bible as a different wedding, but that was his own wedding to Mary Magdalene. He actually performed an alchemical process to show the students on the path of enlightenment, the way to self-mastery and attainment, and Christ consciousness attainment. So ascension is the process of becoming one with the creator source. Let me read that again. Ascension is the process of becoming one with the creator and source, which are one and the same, right? The universal architect of all existence. Whether you call it God or whether you may call it the Force. The Force, right, as portrayed in the movie Star Wars. I did make a correlation between the Force from Star Wars and the unified field as purported by cutting-edge science through quantum physics and the grand theory of everything. So there is a singular field in which all the fundamental forces collapse into. And then, of course, you could also extend that to the concept of the quantum field, which is really a wave of infinite possibilities where every reality, every outcome, and its infinite versions is all taking place. The quantum field, it is all one and the same, okay? It is all one and the same. So according to this, the ascension process is reuniting our individualized unit of consciousness with the unified field, which is the mind of the all, right? And when you begin to do that, for those that want to attain supernatural abilities and become superhuman, when you build a relationship with the fundamental forces of nature, as demonstrated by those who have come before us, you begin to manifest supernatural powers. And it's not so much because you are different or because you are special. It's because you build a symbiotic relationship with the unified field, with the quantum field, which is the force of Star Wars, which is the unified energy that binds and permeates all of existence. So the force that creates and pervades everything is the unified field of physics. It is reuniting with your I am presence, your higher Christ self. Every single one of you has a higher self, known by various names. So the process of ascension is to also reunite with that being that is already perfect, that is all pure and in balance, that being that is fully integrated, that being that is in a singular state of consciousness beyond duality, your own higher self. And your higher self, my friends, is the aspect of creator source that is existing in the higher level of reality, which is what I call the 12th dimension. All right, so I'm also incorporating some of my own teachings that I've revealed in my book, Our Cosmic Origin, with the concept of reuniting or integrating with our higher self, which is the Christed being within all of you. More specifically, an individual can ascend when they have paid back a majority of their negative karma. Those purifying and synthesizing their physical body to the highest level and transforming their physical vehicle into light. That is what's happening right now when you think about it. Right now, as I speak, the sun, which is transforming, yes, every 11 years there is a pole shift that takes place. And right now, the pole shift that is taking place has a lot to do with the idea that even our own star is changing from a yellow star into a white star. And that is because our solar system is aligning with the galactic plane, which is the galactic central sun, right? It's fully emerging into the photon field. So as the CMEs keep coming in, as this higher monastic photonic light energy that is bombarding our solar system at this time via our sun coming from the galactic core, it is infusing all of our cells at a very subatomic level of reality with light. It is allowing for an expansion of light to take place within your own bodies. And that is what's going to activate the crystalline DNA, which is able to harbor higher light energy vibrations that normally your current carbon-based DNA could not harbor, could not, absorb. It'll have an internal combustion. So that's why it's very important to understand what the true internal alchemization process involved in the ascension process. Okay, we're literally becoming light beings while maintaining a subtle physical form, which is different than the carbon-based physical form, by the way. There is a difference between your fifth dimensional avatar, which is more subtle, more etheric type of matter, as opposed to this grotesque, very dense, physical body. Okay. So the more you purify your body and mind, the light you begin to start, the light that is absorbing in you, through that process begins to emanate until you become only light. And that's the true meaning of enlighten, and become free from the density of physical reality. At that point, we are no longer mortals. We have graduated and attained immortality. See, unbeknownst to many people on the path, immortality was always about the activation of the light body through the spiritual work, by the way. And now the difference between those that have come before us, right, that have done it like one or two at a time throughout the last few thousand years, and now is that now for the first time, our entire planet is going to ascend. So the concept, the great initiation, the graduation of the human species into human 3.0, Homo luminous, is being offered at a mass rate at this time. So that's why we're here, Galactic Jedis. We're here to take that ride of ascension so that we could become one with who we are really as a divine being of God, made in the image of our Creator. Thank you for so much love and support. Thank you. I see the hearts. You guys are awesome. So when the soul ascends, it starts a new phase of spiritual existence, but on a higher plane. I do talk about the different planes of reality and the different sub-levels and dimensions and densities in which the overall three planes divide in my book. On chapter 4, I break down the different planes, the different dimensions and densities, and how really they're all just separated by the rate of their vibration, and it's all part of one light energy spectrum. Okay, we're just at the bottom of that. We're just experiencing the bottom of that light energy spectrum, guys. So, so when the soul ascends, it starts a new phase, but on the higher plane, with a vast network of other spiritual beings, including ascended masters, archangels, cosmic beings, and then, of course, nature spirits. So, an ascended master, what is the meaning of an ascended master? All right, an ascended master is someone who has mastered the lessons from the earth school, escaped the wheel of reincarnation, right? The wheel of samsara that was imposed on us by Enki and the fallen Anunnaki after the Atlantean fiasco, thanks to his son Marduk. For those that have read my book, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so an ascended master is someone who has mastered the lessons from the earth school, escaped the wheel of reincarnation, and evolved into a higher realms. Okay, so an ascended master may have walked upon the earth as a great healer, like a monk, a teacher, a prophet, a sage, a shaman, a mystic, and may come from any culture and religion, from ancient Eastern divinities to the new era that has arrived. So the masters have come from every corner of the planet, in other words. It doesn't matter what culture you're from, what religious indoctrinations you were, groomed with, or what color your skin is. An ascended being sees beyond that, sees beyond the surface, and really attains a level of consciousness where they begin, again, to understand that everything in reality is interconnected and operates as a unit of one. Once they cultivate that existence and they begin to build a relationship with the force, the unified field, which is universal awareness, they begin to activate superhuman abilities. And we hear about these stories. You know, the Eastern yogis, we hear about how they walk barefooted on a hot coil, right? They're practicing mind over matter. We hear about how some of these yogis, like Babaji was able to bilocate. You guys know what bilocation is. The art of bilocation is being at two places at once. That's literally self-projecting your physical body through the quantum field and like an email materializing, which is also the way teleportation works, by the way. And this is something that we see in the last of the Star Wars movie, right? When Luke Skywalker projected himself in order to deceive, you know, whatever that new Darth Vader character was, that younger guy with the long black hair, right? When they were attacking him, they came to understand that that was just a hologram of Luke Skywalker. Well, Luke Skywalker is an example of what a performing bilocation, right? You're projecting your image, and you're actually materializing. If you do it right, you could actually even materialize a second body, because you come to understand as an ascended being that your body that your consciousness could actually animate different vehicles at the same time, which is something that has happened and it still continues to exist. And I mentioned that before, that it's only a portion of our consciousness that is animating this third dimensional avatar, right? While the other 99% is operating different avatars throughout the multiverse. Okay. Thank you guys for all the likes and all the wants and the thumbs up. I appreciate that. I want to welcome all 586 people that are in the house. Okay. So, amongst the most famous ascended masters are Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, and the saints, the goddesses, the gods, the bodhisattvas, the devas, and other deities. According to the author Susan Chomsky, ascended masters are enlightened humans who have attained physical immortality by transforming their physical bodies into a more refined, luminous, subtle material body, which is what I just talked about. They have attained the supreme state of spiritual enlightenment and have transformed their physical bodies into the finest physical material called akasha, or in Sanskrit meaning ether. They have transformed their physical bodies into the etheric body. 1 second, let me get a tissue paper. All right, guys, I am back. So again, an enlightened human is one who has attained physical immortality by transforming their physical body into more of a refined, luminous, subtle material form, which is what they call akasha. Akasha is another terminology to describe the etheric body or the etheric vehicle. They have attained the supreme state of spiritual enlightenment and have transformed their physical bodies into the finest physical material called akasha. An ascended master have burned most of their seeds of karma or seeds of desire. In other words, they detach from possessions of the material realms. They have no desire. And I believe that within the East, the traditions of the East, in particular, those that have studied the Buddhist tradition, what is the fundamental teachings of Siddhartha Gautama? Detachment, letting go of physical desires. And he correlates that with human suffering. He says, the moment we will stop suffering is when we could detach from the material realm and have no physical desires. In a lot of ways, that makes a lot of sense, because when you have no more physical desires, that means you have truly attained masterhood, right? That's when you could literally be in control of your mind and your body at will. And that, my friends, is a true Jedi. All right, Galactic Jedis. All we're doing here is just remembering who we were, All right, we're just remembering the process of attaining the state of mastery. Okay. So ascended masters have burned most of their seeds of karma, or seeds of these desired cycles of samsara, which pull humans to reincarnate on earth, life after life, so they no longer need to reincarnate. So they have achieved liberation and have transformed their physical bodies into a light body. Again, the light body is still physical on a higher dimension, but it's more subtle and more etheric than it is gross and congealed. Free from the density of the physical world. And again, for those that have read my book, the third dimension is the lowest point of light energy vibration condensing itself in the most congealed form. All right, so now we're reverting that process. We're becoming much lighter as we ascend. So how many ascended masters are there? That is another question that most people have. Well, a lot of us are familiar with the Kohans of the seven rays, right? Those that are leading or that are directing the evolution of consciousness from behind the scenes. But my friends, my galactic Jedis, there are innumerable amount of ascended beings left out of the history books, unfortunately. And I will mention a lot of them. I would say that there are perhaps thousands upon thousands of ascended masters and ladies of light. All right? That's my opinion, though. And look, we have all returned. Each and every single one of you guys is an ascended beings, right? We've already completed, or we've already escaped the wheel of samsara and have chosen to return in order to help our beloved, dearest Mother Gaia ascend. So that's why we're here, guys. So millions of ascended beings. Oh my God, there we go, millions. Well, that makes a lot more sense considering the fact that civilizations have actually been here for millions of years. That predate Atlantis, right? Atlantis has only been here for less than 1 million years. But there is record and evidence that civilizations before Atlantis could actually date back to 40, 50, and then some even say 500 million years ago. Well, that is a very long time. So millions of ascended beings have graduated from the Earth School and have gained mastery over their material world. These great initiates left their mark on humanity by transcending their physical body or the physical realm and merging with the source, which is what we call the field, God, the universal mind of everything, which is really the logos of the entire universe, right? The logos was made flesh, as we hear in the teachings of the great avatars like Jesus, Sananda, and of course the Buddha. The logos was made flesh. All that means is that they merged their individual personality, the I, with the universal mind of everything in the universe. That's what the logos made flesh means, for those that have studied esotericism, okay? And then, of course, we do know that the organized religions decided to hijack that teaching and use it as a tool to separate your own divinity or your own connection to source, right? Severing your own connection to your higher self by placing the connection between you and God to a pope, a priest, a bishop, or some sort of a clergy mediator. And that's what the dark side has done in the organization of religions. They have literally hijacked the teachings of the ascended beings and twisted it towards their agenda of world domination. And we see this throughout history. And that's why I personally believe that there is a huge decline in religion as more and more people on the earth, as more and more earth terrans, not just those that are volunteer souls, but as more and more people begin the awakening process into spirituality, which is all-inclusive, universal, there is also at the same time a huge decline in organized religions. In comparison to 20 years ago, you see a drastic decline in organized religion, or even 50 years ago. So I guess another question would be, before I get to this next question, these extraordinary beings after their ascension enter a new world of cosmic existence and new and different rules to master and choose how they want to serve the world in their new role. As some may wish to continue to serve humanity, some may take another path in our vast universe. And that is so true, right? Not all of the masters, right? According to this, there have been millions of ascended beings that escaped the samsara reincarnational trap set by Enki, of course, and the fallen Anunnaki, but some have chosen to leave to other parts of the universe to continue their spiritual evolution, right? As we are part of 15-dimensional time matrix, right? Most of these masters have only attained the 5th dimension, and some, of course, have attained the 7th dimension, but there is more dimensions to attain beyond the 7 before they become complete and one with the entire vast consciousness and body of the entire universe. So some have left to continue expanding and continue evolving, while others who have attained the 5th dimension level of reality, or even perhaps the 7th, have remained behind in order to continue helping those that haven't attained enlightenment, which is very, very selfless from them. And this is what one calls the principles of the laws of one teachings, or the raw material. So these are perfect examples of servants of the one infinite creator who have no ego, who have dominated their ego. And all they do is they just want to serve. They just want to serve others, okay? That is what makes an individual pure when you think about it. So another question is, what is the role of ascended masters? When ascended masters are entirely free from their negative karma, they can choose how and when and where they want to operate and serve the world. Some of the masters have such a great love for the earth that they choose to keep helping humanity to ascend as teachers and guides. And that is also true, right? A lot of them do remain, even though they are given the opportunity to continue in other planes of existence. They choose to remain here on the earth plane. And they, of course, operate from, higher dimensional cities, such as the city of Shambhala, right? Or there's other cities, the city of gold, just to name a few. All right. So these are the masters, the ascended masters that commonly appear during channeling sessions, or in many other forms like Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, Kutumi, El Morya, etc. These masters who specifically help humanity are part of a group called the Great White Brotherhood. And I did put out a live or a presentation on who the Great White Brotherhood is, and their connections, of course, to the Melchizedek priesthood. So masters that are part of the Great Bright Brotherhood are here to help humanity, and they're also called the Council of Light. They're also known as the Council of Light, okay? Masters who are part of the Great White Brotherhood may also be assigned to direct a specific ray or light or ray of consciousness. And I did mention in the live titled The Guardians of Creation, right? When I was talking about the original Elohim, the 12 universal archetypes and the different levels of reality in which the ascended means are also, again, all they do is they're integrating, they're unifying their consciousness with the consciousness of the archetype, and then they become the holders of the ray, right? Now that opportunity has been given to us. So when I mention what these rays are, see which ray resonates with you. In some cases, you might resonate with more than one ray, and then some of you might have already been working with some of these rays. So understand that these rays are here to be integrated by us, all right? Let me go change shirts, guys, because it's quite hot here, and this thermal is making me sweat. I'll be right back in 1 minute. 1 second. Thank you. All right, much better. I don't have to. I was actually beginning to perspire here. Whew, it's hot in here. A lot of the times, our body temperature rises as a result of Kundalini energy going up your spine, and also as a byproduct of being in a high vibration, which is translated as heat. So I feel like I am in a very high vibration. And so that's why I think my body is perspiring. So anyways, let me continue here. So the masters who are part of the Great White Brotherhood may also be assigned to direct the specific rays of light, which of course there are 12. We talked about it in my live titled The Guardians of Creation. So there are a total of 12 rays, 7 major and 5 minor. But now, my friends, there is a new ray that is developing as the planet ascends, and of course, as our entire galaxy and universe matrix ascends, there is a new ray coming into existence. And that ray is the 13th ray, the great Ophiuchus, the great womb of all creation, which corresponds to the restoration of the sacred divine feminine, or the return of the Great Mother. So now we're going to be entering the 13th ray, 13th creation. From theosophical studies and many other channels, there are known as the 7 rays of light. So they're basically referring to the 7 major rays. Each ray of light is of a different color with a different spiritual focus and is directed by a specific ascended master, also called a Kohan. Kohan also means Lord, for those who didn't know, of the ray. The Kohan of the ray could also be not only the Lord and Lady of the ray, right, as they do come in pairs, but it also means guardian of the ray. Kohan is a title given to a specific ascended being who is actually the Kohan and the administrator of that particular ray on this earth. To give you an example, Saint Germain, right, who was also Master Rakosi in European times, the great wanderer, who was also Merlin, who was also Joseph, the father of Jesus. And of course, we know that he wasn't the one who impregnated Mary, but he was still in body as a fractal of Saint Germain in order to protect Yeshua ben Joseph. So we know that Saint Germain is working with the 7th ray, which is the ray of freedom and ceremonial magic, which is really the ray that is restoring the freedom and, of course, the magic that once existed during the days of Atlantis back to humanity. And it's also a transmuting ray. All right, it's also a violet transmuting ray that is capable of alchemizing negative energy. If you work with the 7th ray of Saint Germain, you are an alchemizer. You are an alchemizer, a transmuter of negative energy and negative circumstances like that. So again, guys, the masters are not separate from us. There are different. They are extensions of us, and so it is our duty, right, as the new guardians of the earth, to begin to integrate with not just one, but with all of the cosmic rays. And yeah, that's what we should do. So each ray of light is one of different colors with a different spiritual focus and is directed by a specific ascended master known as the Kohan. Each channel or other channels with more recent channeled work report that there are now 12 rays. I've already mentioned that earlier. It is also interesting to know that while these great beings dedicate all their hearts and souls to help us ascend, they also keep studying and expanding their own consciousness to continue to evolve even after their ascension. That makes a lot of sense, because even after we attain liberation from mortality into immortality, as we go into the 5th dimension, there are still other levels to ascend all the way to the 12th dimension. So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Some of the ascended masters may even be students from greater cosmic beings in the spiritual hierarchy with a higher level of consciousness to continue their spiritual growth in the celestial realms. So another question might be asked: what is the Great White Brotherhood? Again, this is very synonymous to my video, The Creators and Guardians of Creation, the Elohim, and also to my live or the presentation I gave on the Order of Melchizedek and the 144,000. This is all intimately connected, by the way, right? The Great White Brotherhood. Okay, so ascended masters who decide to keep their focus on helping humanity to evolve from a group named the Great White Brotherhood are also called the Great White Lodge, or just the Council of Light. The name the Great White Brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color or race, but it is a reference to the pure white light that emanates from these beings who have attained Buddha consciousness, Christ consciousness, cosmic consciousness, right? So let me read that again. The Great White Lodge or White Brotherhood has nothing to do with skin color or race, but is a reference to the pure light that emanates from these beings who have attained that. The Great White Lodge is part of the spiritual hierarchy, perfectly and harmoniously organized as ever-increasing levels of consciousness. The Councils of Light headquarters is said to be an etherically located city in the Himalayas. And every ascended master who directs a ray also has their etheric retreat or ashram in a different place around the world. This spiritual fraternity made from the great brothers and sisters that are associated with the Great White Lodge, primary goal is to raise humanity's consciousness in multiple ways. The brotherhood and sisterhood also includes students who have not ascended yet, probably are you and me, who may or may not be consciously aware of it, but may have earned a place amongst the masters to help anchor the divine plan on planet Earth. The Great White Brotherhood is highly structured and organized into different councils with specific goals and tasks, all focused on raising humanity's frequency. So this isn't any different than the different intergalactic and councils that I talked about in my book. Again, we see this divine administration, right? The administrators of the 12 rays exemplified and exerted on every level of reality by the different functionaries of those that are a part and associated with the office of the Christ, which is those light beings that honor the one infinite creator and are living in accordance to the laws of creation, right? Those that do not violate the laws of creation, those that are in service to others. I want to welcome all 721 people who are in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Before I get to the next article, I do want to acknowledge some of the Galactic Jedis that are in the house. I see Pamela M., Elizabeth Namaste, Charla's Vision. I also see Elite Savior. I also see Kathy Kberg, Highness, Merkaba Assur, Kevin is in the house, Marilyn Jacobson is in the house, Shakina Glory, 1111 is in the house, Devin Johnston is in the house, El Salvador in the house, MJF, Ricky Lee, 1111, Ananda Sia, Radiant Guardians, Kim Thompson, Tino Petronicio, George A. 350, Gloria, or Glory Brilliant, and Charla Wisdom, all in the house. Who else is all in the house? Let's see. Elizabeth Namaste is in the house. Laurel Raiders in the house. Ananda Sia's in the house. She says hi. Hi, Ananda. Isabel's in the house. Mathis Chronicles in the house. Elizabeth Namaste. George. I've already mentioned George. Melinda. Diana. Devin Johnson. And everyone else. I mean, I could just continue. There's over 700 people that are in the house. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are amazing. So this is, okay, so like I mentioned before, beyond the 7 Kohans, there has been millions and millions of ascended beings. But today I'm only going to reveal about 20 or 30 ascended beings, including some of the gods and goddesses that have also been classified as ascended beings, okay? Because when you think about it, even the gods of mythology, right, were celestials that descended into human form. They had to materialize a human body in order to be visible by the human race. So I just thank you so much for the super chat. I will get to the questions as soon as I read and finish today's topic. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yes, you will be the first question. Sarah Annalise, you will be the first question that I will answer. Okay, sister? Thank you. 1 second. So this is a list of ascended masters, cosmic masters, devas. Those are part of the elemental kingdoms, which are also beings of light, right? The elementals, right? They're all working in coherence and in harmony with the ascended beings, the angels, the archangels, and the Elohim, which comprise the body of the different functionaries of the office of the Christ. So in archangels, okay, I've already said that. Okay, so those who have the term God or goddess with their name are cosmic masters and have attained God consciousness. The list is by no means complete, as there are many of those who are chosen to work closest with the earth at this time, and so are in our awareness. There are also a vast number of masters working on different paths. The in front of name denotes those who are standing with humanity as their ascension teachers, as described in the articles, the Ascension Masters. Let's see. Before I mention who these masters are, okay, 1 second. Okay, so see if any of this rings the bell. Okay, so those that have ascended in our brothers and sisters from Africa are known as Ashlael, Alexander, Afra, Aloha. These are people from Africa. Alpha. Let's see what else. Okay, we have some people from the Pacific Islands, including Hawaii. Amangatha, Marvelous, Amaterasia. She was a Japanese goddess of the sun. Amazonia, the feminine Elohim of the first ray. Interesting, Amazonia, right? Reminds me of Wonder Woman in the Amazonians. Amethyst, also known as the Holy Amethyst, archaic of the seventh ray. So apparently Amethyst is the divine counterpart. If she's the archaic of the seventh ray, who works with the seventh ray, the male aspect? Saint Germain. So apparently Amethyst, also known as Lady Liberty, is the counter feminine part of Saint Germain. Ameris, goddess of light. Amora, the feminine Elohim of the third ray. Anaya, Angelique. Anubis, the Egyptian god of the underworld. Apollo, Elohim of the second ray and twin flame of Lumina. They are guardians of the cosmic Christ consciousness. Arcturus, Elohim of the seven ray, along with his twin flame Victoria. Aries, a second ray cosmic master, a warrior master. I guess, even Aries has a higher self, not to the distorted Aries, right, the god of war, but a higher self where he is not the god of war anymore. He is just the Christed example or the Christed expression of Aries, right? Okay, so Asteria, Ishtar. Of course, we all know that Ishtar was Inanna, right? Different names, also known as Astarte. Astrea, feminine Elohim of the fifth ray. Aurora. These are some of the divine ascended masteress or ladies of light. So I love the fact that they're starting off and honoring the great divine feminine. Aurora, archaic of the sixth ray with her twin flame Archangel Uriel. Well, there you go. They come in pairs. Brahma, he is part of the Hindu trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma is the creator aspect. Cassiopeia is the Elohim of the central sun. Well, there is a star system called Cassiopeia within our galaxy, by the way. Celeste, a Devic angel of the ascended host. Sha'ara is the fifth ray master. Chamuel, the archangel of the third ray. He is a manifestation of divine love. There is also Chananda, chief of the Indian Council from India, not like Native American India, but from India. He's in charge of the Indian Council of the Great White Brotherhood, a first ray master. Clarity. So just to let you guys know that there are many masters who are the administrators of the different rays. So in the West, we have El Moria, which I will go over right now. El Moria, who is the adept and master or the Kohan of the first ray. But according to this manuscript, Chananda, who is the chief of the Indian Council of the Great White Brotherhood, is also a Kohan or an administrator of the first ray, right? Which is shared with El Moria. So again, guys, the rays are available for us to begin to work and use. All right. So let me continue. Charity, a female archangel of the first ray. She was taught to be one of the third ray, but her aura colors place her on the first ray, as does her energy. Christine is the female archangel of the second ray. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Christine works with Serapis Bey, is it the second Kohan? Cyclopia, who is the masculine Elohim of the fifth ray for truth, healing, and knowledge. Darius, it doesn't say what Darius is. Divas of Light. So the Divas of Light is a cosmic being. Let's see if there's any personal information on the Divas of Light. The Divas are beings of purity. The Diva of Light is light. I recognize myself in you, right? The holistic model of reality, honoring the light within all of creation. The Divas of Light aura is an orb of soft light yellow. She is working within the Ascended Master. She works under the Ascended Master, Mother Mary, at this time. Very, very interesting. Interesting. Okay, so. So Diva of the Central Sun, which is a cosmic being. So the Diva of the Great Central Sun, these are the divas that are beings of the purity. The Diva is helping to bring the energies of the Great Central Sun and the gold ray to us at this time. These rays are helping to lighten the vibrations we exist in. Her aura has yellow center with an orange edge. The Diva of the Central Sun is working with the Ascended Master Saint Germain, okay, Kohan of the 7th ray at this time. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, there's also the Diva of the 7th ray. The Diva of the 7th ray is a cosmic being, again. And this is, I believe, if you are a 7th ray soul, then form a relationship with this beautiful Diva via her portal painting. Through this painting, she is sending her love. Oh, the Divas of the 7th ray have an aura with white center leading out to violet. Very, very interesting. Again, all of these beings are here for us to integrate, right? They are us in our ascended state. All we have to do is reconnect and become one with our mind. And we become them, they become us, right? We become them. Remember that, guys. We become them, they become us. Same consciousness, different avatars. And different levels of awareness. Of course, you know, only a percentage of our consciousness is needed enough to animate this third dimensional avatar. We also have Dom Ignacio. We also have Edward, also known as Elijah, the prophet, as mentioned in the Bible. He returned to earth as John the Baptist, though he was already an ascended master. Of course, El Moria, we talked about the Kohen of the first ray, who, by the way, was the ascended master Abraham, the ancient, you know, we call the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, Abraham and Sarah. Abraham was the ascended master El Moria. And we also start seeing an intimate relationship through the Kohen of the first ray with the cosmic ray that is being administrated by no other than Lord Michael himself, right? The overseer of our creation in our universe. So what we see here is the same being, the same aspect, a fractal of Michael, being exemplified through the ascended master El Moria, who is sharing the same ray as Michael does. And then, of course, we know that through his lineage, that ray was carried over through King David, right? And Solomon, and then later that's the same ray that manifested in the form of Jesus, which is also to do with the divine kingdom of the original Holy Grail. Again, the restoration of the kings and queens of the original Holy Grail. And we do know that Mary Magdalene was also a demonstrator of the original ray, which is the first ray of willpower and divinity. Okay. So there is more, guys. There is more. So there's the Elohim of the 8th ray. Again, there's a total of 12 rays. Enoch, priest of the sacred fire, Eros, also known as the god of love, Faith, archaic of the 3rd ray. She is thought to be of the 1st ray, but her aura colors place her on the 3rd ray. Fortuna, the goddess of supply. The reason I'm reading all of these different ascended beings is because I want to see who you resonate with, all right? Maybe some of you are them, right? That is who you are in your highest form. So I hope this helps to activate who you are. Gabriel, archangel of the 4th ray. Freya, Norse goddess of love, beauty, war, magic, and wisdom. Fortuna, the goddess of supply. Ganesh, a 5th ray cosmic master and Hindu god. Gautama Buddha, lord of the world. Harmony, a cosmic master. Hathor, an Egyptian great mother goddess, a 6th ray master. Helios, god of the central sun. There you go. Hera, a 2nd ray master. We know Hera was also the wife of Zeus, right? Who fathered many children, just like Poseidon and Enki. Hercules, Elohim of the 1st ray. Hedos, Elohim of the 3rd ray. Hilarion, Kohan of the 5th ray. Inanna was a Sumerian goddess of love and war, a fourth ray master. Isis, an Egyptian goddess, a sixth ray master. Jesus, a second ray master. Well, that makes a lot of sense because, the second ray is dealing with unconditional love and wisdom as exemplified and expressed through Jesus, Sananda. So it continues. I mean, there's, like I said, this is just covering maybe about 30 to 40, and I don't want to read them all, but just to give you an overall idea, there has been millions of ascended beings that have attained immortality through the principles of service to others and self-mastery, of course. First and foremost, how can we serve another if we don't have control of ourselves, or if we haven't yet cultivated self-love, right? Self-love. Lady Nada. Lady Nada helps children and those who need inner child healing. She is a sixth-ray master. And of course, Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the goddess of mercy, not to be confused with White Tara. Many think they are the same being, but their energies are very different. She is a third-ray master. Kutumi, the world teacher and a master of the second ray. So it continues. Lady Nada, Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity. She is a third-ray cosmic mother. Her aura blends from deep rose out to gold. La Tezao, a Chinese ascended master of the second ray. Lord Lanto is a Kohan of the second ray. Lord Ling, which is Moses was Lord Ling, is a Chinese ascended master who was previously Moses. I think that's when Moses ascended after he became Lord Ling. And then there's Ma'at. Ma'at is the Egyptian goddess of balance and the third ray master. And then there's the Maha Kohan. The Maha Kohan of the eighth ray. There's also the Mahakala. The Mahakala is the Buddhist protector deity. And then, of course, there's Maitreya, who many believe is the consciousness of the planetary Christ mind and the being that overshadowed Jesus. So Maitreya is the cosmic Christ and planetary Buddha. And then there's also Manjushri, Bodhisattva of wisdom. Of course, Mary Magdalene. We have to honor Mary Magdalene, who was the equal to Jesus and also had 12 apostle ladies known as the Magdalenes. All right. I did an interview with Michelle Kuhn. I think that's her last name, Michelle. Forget her name. I did an interview with Michelle, and we talked about the different, Mary Magdalene's 12 apostle ladies who were known as the Magdalenes. There's also Melchizedek, an ascended master of the first ray. Mercury, a Greek god also known as the Roman god Hermes. Metatron is a cosmic angel of the first ray. So therefore, Metatron, who many believe was the ascended master Enoch, is also working with El Morya and the ascended being from India. And there could be many adepts and Kohans of the rays, okay? The rays are here for us to work with, by the way. All 12 of them, not just the 7. Mother Mary, as the mother of Jesus, she was already an ascended master. Having attained her ascension in a previous life, she is a third ray master. Of course, we have Michael, archangel of the first ray. Again, the higher embodiment of El Morya Abraham is Michael. Then we have Milarepa, a Tibetan ascended master. Mother Mary, Moses, I've already mentioned that. Let's see. Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife, a first ray master. Okay, so he shares the first ray with El Morya, and of course Metatron, right? Different fractals of the oversoul, same ray being. Then there's Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is the sixth ray goddess of truth. Paul the Venetian, Kohan of the third ray. Let's see. There's Portia. Lady Ascended Master of the sixth ray for justice. Ptah, first ray master, warrior master. I mean, the list goes on. Sanat Kumara, a cosmic master. He is so vast, he has to manifest a body for the ascended masters to see him. This is who Sanat Kumara is. I believe Sanat Kumara is a 12th dimensional being. And yes, in terms of initiation, he has fused with the mind of our son, Helios Investa. He used to be the Kohan, or the what they call the primary guardian of Venus, but he had attained another level of attainment, or another level of enlightenment, where he graduated to becoming what? The solar logos. So now he is in charge of the solar hierarchy. All right. So we have these things called planetary hierarchies. And of course, we know Maitreya. Maitreya is at the head of that. And then we also have solar hierarchies. Sana Komura is at the head of that. And then we also have what? We have constellation hierarchies, galactic hierarchies, right? And then universal hierarchies. And who's in charge of our universe? Lord Michael, the Lord of the 12 creation. And again, as a reminder for those that are just jumping in, these beings of light are not separate from us. They are us in other realities. As we undergo multidimensional integration, we begin to become them and they become us, and we manifest them in physical form through us. We are vessels of them, of all the archetypes, all the rays, and all those that have come before us. We are their vessels in human form. And that explains the teachings of the return of all the masters and ladies of light at the end of the epoch to usher in the next golden age of enlightenment, right? Which is going to be represented by the 6 root rays. Right now we're ending the 5 root rays, right? There are 7 root races, 5 closure races. Together they make the 12. We've already ended the Atlantean epoch, the 4th root race. We're ending the Aryan root race as I speak, which is the 5th root race. And now we're going to be entering the 6th root race. And then as we enter the 6th root race, we're going to have 1,000 years of peace. And then finally, after our last battle against the AI gods, Sora and Omega and Enki and all of their minions, as we succeed in that, and we have, by the way, then we are going to usher in the 7th golden age, which is the 7th root race. And that's when we become one again with all of creation and usher in, as a result of that, a cosmic era. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I am high vibing tonight. Maybe because I'm feeling all of your energies. This is amazing. We are all here to uplift each other and to pretty much learn from each other. So let's see. Serapis Bey, I didn't mention him, who is co-hand of the 4th ray. Let's see. Saint Germain, co-hand of the 7th ray. Saint John the Baptist, a 1st ray master. Thomas Metron or Merton, Thomas, one of the newest masters, a 1st ray master. See how there could be so many 1st ray masters, 7th ray masters, 3rd ray masters. Guys, we have the ability to work and become co-hands of these rays. All of us do, right? Let's see. Uriel, Archangel of the 6th ray. Okay. Uzziel, Archangel of the 5th ray. It is thought he is with the 8th ray, but his aura colors put him on the 1st ray. Vesta, goddess of home, a 3rd ray master. Victoria, feminine, Elohim of the 7th ray. Virginia, feminine, Elohim of the 5th ray for truth, healing, and knowledge. Vishnu, a 5th ray master. Yameya, a 4th ray master, a representative of the Divine Mother. Yogananda, by the way, Yogananda, Pramahana Yogananda, the autobiography of the yogi, guys. I read when I was only 19 years old, and it woke me up. That is the book that just snapped me out of the matrix, out of the mass hypnosis, right? It was the autobiography of the yogi. And it was actually a gift given to me by a practitioner of yoga, of Kriya Kundalini yoga. And it's the same person who actually taught me the practice before I started using it at the age of 20. Of course, I had a year where it's like I didn't really take it seriously. But after a while, I started implementing everything that man taught me. His name was Master Fachi. And Master Fachi was actually directed by Sai Baba and not Kutumi, but Babaji. Babaji and Sai Baba actually told him to initiate me. They said, you have to initiate that kid, all right? You have to put that kid on his path of spirituality. And that's how I started, again, becoming who I am today, as a result of what Master Fashi, who was a student of Sai Baba and Babaji. I always mix those two together, Babaji. And then, of course, reading the autobiography of the yogi, guys, it just clicked on me. I was only 19 years old when I read that book. A shout out to Master Fachi out there. Thank you so much for putting me on the path of enlightenment. Thank you. And I honor you, Master Fachi, who is still around, by the way. He's still alive. Thank God. All right. So let's see. So basically, here is a list of some of the masters and ladies of light that most of you are probably familiar with, right? Zarathustra. Zarathustra was the original, you could say, there are many stories of this, of a Christed figure in every culture where he was killed by the government and he resurrected on the third day. Well, the original one was Zarathustra, or Zoroastrian, which was the part of the Zoroastrianism teachings, which again, a lot of the religions of today, especially the Western religion of Judeo-Christian Islamic traditions, a lot of them draw from the original Rosicrucian, from the original I can't even say it, Zarathustra teachings. Okay, so Zarathustra was the first incarnating avatar, and then of course we had Apollo, Dionysus, we had Jesus, and many others. So Cyrus of Egypt, and so on and so forth. Bacchus was another one. Can I think of any more? Oh yeah, so a lot of these religions, again, they draw from the original teachings of Zoroastrianism. That's the word, Zoroastrianism. So some of the ascended beings are Mary Magdalene, Jesus, Saint Germain, El Moria. These are the most common ones. Dom Ignacio, Lady Nada, Lao Tzu, Paul the Venetian, Melchizedek, Mahakohan, Kuan Yin, Hilarion, Katumi, Lord Lanto, Pallas Athena, Mother Mary, Isis, Serapis Bey, Saint John the Baptist, Mat, Amen Bey, Ptah, Thomas Mertron, Portia, Anubis, Moses, Vesta, Shananda, Yogananda, Gautama Buddha, Maitreya, Sha'ara, Hina Nutero, Saint Anthony of Padua, and then some of the cosmic masters. Okay, so we have ascended masters that have left their human, that have graduated from human mortality. And then we also have the cosmic masters. And the cosmic masters are that have actually passed the 12th level of reality and that have reunited all the way to the 12th dimension. So there you go. That is the difference. Okay, so the ascended masters that were once human like us, who attained the 5th level of reality all the way to the 7th dimension, are ascended masters. But those that have attained the 12th level of initiation, which is the 12th dimension, are known as the cosmic masters. Okay, so there are a few cosmic masters that are living among us, right? That are perhaps you guys or those that watch this on the replay. So this is by no means a complete list of the cosmic beings, but for the most part, a general understanding of who these cosmic beings are. White Tara, Sanakumura, Ramun, Helios, Osiris, Metatron, Krishna, Hathor, Amaterasu, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Susano, Vishnu, Shiva, Sitapatra, Amaryllis, goddess of spring, Inanna, Ormritas, and Horus. So those are the cosmic beings that have attained the 12th dimension. Let's see, is there more? One second. Okay, so I do want to make the correlation of the Kohans with the ascended masters and how they correspond to their higher self. Because even ascended masters at a 5th dimension or at a 7th dimensional level of reality also have a higher self that they're trying to attain, which is completion, and that is their archangelic self. Okay, so we are them in the 12th dimension. As the masters are us in the 5th and 7th dimension, we are the archangels in the 12th dimension, right? As we undergo ascension, we become more light body and less physical, right? As we become ascended. So, a list of the Kohans of the first rays from the realm of the archangels include the first ray is held by Michael the archangel, which corresponds to, okay, so Michael the archangel is the 12th dimensional oversoul of El Moria, which is the higher self of Abraham, right? The ascended master Abraham who became El Moria. They both work with the first ray, right? Same being, okay? The second ray is held by Archangel Jophiel. So the second ray is held by Archangel Jophiel, and that corresponds to his seventh dimensional counterpart known as Lanto, holder of the second ray, okay? The third ray held by the Archangel is known as Archangel Chamuel and Archic Charity. Archangel Chamuel and Archaea Charity are the holders of the third ray, okay? Their seventh dimensional correspondent is Paul the Venetian. Paul the Venetian. Okay, so the archangel of the fourth ray is Gabriel. So Gabriel is the archangel of the fourth ray. Are you guys ready for this? His seventh dimensional correspondent is Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey. All right, so the archangel of the fifth ray is held by Raphael, also known as Lord Rahal, right? Who is at the head of all medical and holistic medicine and science of light, right? If you are a healer, you probably work with Raphael, right? If you're one of the healers. The Arcturians, who are known for their vast healing capabilities, are actually tutored by Lord Rahal, aka Archangel Raphael. So he holds the title of the fifth ray, right? And his seventh dimensional correspond is Lady Nada. Hilarion. Hilarion. So Master Hilarion is the Kohan of the seventh ray at the seventh dimensional level of reality. All right, going back to the 12th dimensional level of reality, we have the holder of the sixth ray, known as Archangel Uriel. So Archangel Uriel at the 12th dimensional level of reality is the same being known as Lady Nada, right? Lady Nada is the holder of the seventh dimensional level of reality, lady in charge of the sixth ray. Okay, so the archangel in charge of the seventh ray at the 12th dimensional level of reality is Archangel Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel. Now, his seventh dimensional correspondent is Saint Germain. Saint Germain. Isn't it interesting how it's all connected, guys? These are all one being on different levels of reality. We're just in the third dimension. We get to integrate them into us. That's the beauty of us being here in the lowest levels of reality, is that we bring them to the, we manifest them. We bring them to the present, to the world through the spiritualization of matter as we know it, right? Through the alchemical processes. All right, so now that you guys know who these ascended beings are, okay, so there is a Elohim correspondent, okay? So we know that the first ray held by Michael is in the first ray on the seventh dimension is held by El Moria, right? Well, the Elohim correspondent is Hercules. So that means Hercules, right, Kohan of the first ray, and El Moria, Kohan of the first ray, and Archangel Michael, Kohan of the first ray, are all one and the same on different levels of reality. Interesting. So the second ray, which corresponds to Archangel Jophiel and the second Kohan, and corresponds to Lord Lanto of the seventh dimension, is also Apollo. So Apollo is the Elohim version of Lord Lanto and the archangel known as Jophiel. They're all one and the same, okay? The third Elohim that works with the third ray is Heros. Heros is the third Elohim, what also corresponds to Paul the Venetian on the seventh dimension, and also corresponds to Archangel Shamuel, okay? The fourth ray Elohim goes to Purity and Astrea. Purity and Astrea, who also correspond to Serapis Bey, right? On the fourth ray, the seventh dimensional level of reality, and also corresponds to Archangel Gabriel, which is them at the 12th dimensional level of reality. All right, there's more. After that, we have the fifth ray Elohim Cyclopea, which corresponds to the fifth ray Ascended Master Hilarion and to the fifth ray Archangel Raphael. Okay, and then we have two more rays. So we have the sixth ray, known as the Elohim of Peace, which corresponds to Lady Nada, who is the Kohen of the sixth ray, right? and also corresponds to Archangel Uriel, who is the Kohen of the 6th ray, but at a 12-dimensional level of reality. I hope you guys could bear with me here, okay? And of course, we have the 7th ray Elohim, known as Elohim Arcturus and Victoria, which correspond to Saint Germain, who is the Kohen of the 7th ray of the 7th dimensional level of reality, who also corresponds to Archangel Zadkiel, who is the Archangel Kohen of the 7th ray at a 12th dimensional level of reality. Wow. Oh my God. There is so much to learn when it comes to the Enlightened Ones, guys. There is so much to learn. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and begin to take some questions at this time. If you guys could give me 2 minutes, I have to use the restroom. 1 second. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and take some questions from the chat, and I could actually read them because I connected my laptop to a big monitor where I could actually read, but I will put my glasses on just to make sure that I'm not butchering your names or anything like that.